Hello everyone, welcome to today's session. Today we are going to see Class 12 Biology Chapter 8 Microbes in Human Welfare. So today we are going to see the topic Microbes in Sewage Treatment. Let's start with the topic what is sewage and primary treatment. Okay. So every day lakhs of liters of wastewater are produced from our homes, schools, hospitals and cities. But where does all this water go then? See, the wastewater generated from cities and towns is called the municipal wastewater or sewage. And what does this contain? See, sewage mainly contains human excreta. Yeah, it contains human excreta, and also it contains a large amount of organic matter and microorganisms. And when we talk about these microorganisms, some of these microorganisms may be pathogenic, that is, disease-causing microorganisms. And the water which are coming from the toilets, bathrooms, kitchens and other municipal sources, yeah, eventually they become part of the wastewater. Can we directly release this sewage into rivers? Is it possible? No, we cannot. Then why it cannot be released into the rivers? Because this untreated sewage, it contains organic matter and also potentially harmful microorganisms. If we directly discharge this, what will happen? It will lead to water pollution and also waterborne diseases. So next is the primary treatment we are going to see. See, if you have dirty water containing stones, plastic pieces and other solid particles, so what is the first thing you do? You will remove the solid particles, right? See, that is exactly what happens during the primary treatment. So primary treatment here is physical removal. So it involves a filtration and sedimentation process. You can able to see, yeah, I have given you the flow chart over here. Yes. So what is the first one? Step 1 is the filtration. So what will be done in the filtration? Floating and large particles are removed by sequential filtration. Like example, we can say floating debris and large solid particles. And what happens in sedimentation? See, the remaining heavier particles are allowed to settle down. We know when we have water at home also, or any sand or particles are there, means what will happen? Those sand particles will settle it down. No, same process is happening here also. So what type of particles settle here? Soil will settle, small pebbles and also grit, and these settle at the bottom. And what happens after this? See, the settled solids are called as the primary sludge. The settled solid are called as the primary sludge. And then the liquid above it, it is called as the supernatant or effluent. It is called as the supernatant or the effluent. Then the effluent is then sent for the secondary treatment. So always this primary treatment is mainly a physical process. And here we are going to see something important about the microorganisms. See, are microbes added from outside here? No. See, the treatment uses heterotrophic microbes which are naturally present in the sewage. So this was a very important NCERT question, and you may expect this in board exam also. So we always remember the sewage already contains the microbes, and also these useful microbes, they grow during the treatment and also they help to decompose the organic matter. So next we are going to see the secondary treatment, and this is also called as the biological treatment. Now the primary effluent, it enters a large aeration tank. Yes, it enters the large aeration tank. So what happens here? First one is the mechanical agitation. What is agitation, children? See, agitation is nothing but continuously stirring, yeah, or mixing, we can say. Yes, so the sewage is continuously agitated mechanically. And in the next, the step 2, air is pumped. That is, air is continuously supplied. Why they are providing air? Because we want the growth of the aerobic microbes. That is why air is given. And the next one, formation of the flocs takes place. That is, the aerobic microbes, they grow into structures called as the flocs. What are these flocs? You can see here. What are these flocs? See, flocs are masses of bacteria which are associated with fungal filaments forming mesh-like structures. Yeah, masses of bacteria associated with fungal filaments forming mesh-like structures. So just to remember, bacteria and fungal filaments, They form mesh-like mass, nothing but our flocs. And why do these microbes are important, or what they do here? And why are we growing these microbes here? See, because these microbes are extremely useful, children. See, as the microbes grow, they consume a major part of the organic matter which are present in the effluent. So the organic matter, yeah, so it is reduced, and therefore what happens? BOD also reduced. So this is one of the most important concepts in sewage treatment. And what is BOD? You should understand what is BOD. BOD is nothing but biochemical oxygen demand. What is that BOD? BOD is biochemical oxygen demand. So it's very easy. Yeah, I'll explain to you. So BOD, it tells us how much oxygen is required by bacteria. So BOD tells us how much oxygen is required by bacteria to break down the organic matter present in water. So what it does? Yeah, it is a oxygen, how much oxygen is required by that bacteria to break down the organic matter present in water. So in your book, they have defined like in terms of the oxygen that could be consumed if the organic matter in 1 liter of water, how much? 1 liter of water were oxidized by bacteria. Yeah. So if what happens if high BOD means, it means that high pollution potential, and is low BOD means less potential pollution potential. Okay. Okay, answer me now. Which water is more polluted? Can you tell me, water with low BOD or water with high BOD? So already we know. So answer is water with high BOD. Yes. So next we are going to see activated sludge and also the anaerobic digestion. See, once the BOD has been reduced significantly, the effluent, it moves to the settling tank. Where it moves? The effluent moves into the settling tank. Here what happens? The bacterial flocs, they settle down. Bacterial flocs, they settle down. And the sediment formed is called activated sludge. Okay. So is all activated sludge thrown out? No, no, yeah, all activated sludge is not thrown out. So what happens here? Here, the small part, yeah, a small part is pumped back into the aeration tank. Why? It acts as an inoculum. Yeah. So a small part is pumped back into the aeration tank. Why? Because it acts as an inoculum. So the remaining major part, major part is sent to anaerobic sludge digesters. Okay. Then what happens? And what does this anaerobic mean, children? Can you tell me? Already we have studied aerobic, anaerobic in our lower classes. So anaerobic means without oxygen. So the major part of the sludge, yeah, is transferred to large tanks called anaerobic sludge digesters. So here what happens? Anaerobic bacteria, they digest the bacteria and fungi present in the sludge. So during this process, gases are produced. Mainly what it produces? It produces methane, nothing but our biogas, and also, yeah, hydrogen sulfide is produced, that is H2S, and carbon dioxide, CO2 is produced. So together all these gases, they form the biogas. So what is an biogas? Yeah, is a combination of the methane, hydrogen sulfide and carbon dioxide. They form the biogas, which is inflammable. Yeah, and can also be used as a source of energy. So here is an exam tip for you. So the treated effluent is finally released into the natural water bodies like rivers and streams. So before going to this slide, I'll tell you the complete flow of the sewage treatment. So first what we saw the raw sewage. And the raw sewage, it underwent the primary treatment, that is the filtration. It removes the floating debris. Next, sedimentation is done. It removes the grit. Then what happened? The primary sludge and effluent is formed. And that went into the aeration tank where air and aerobic microbes are provided. Then floc formation occurred, and then organic matter is consumed, and then what happened? BOD decreased and it went to the settling tank. At last we got the activated sludge, and in that activated sludge, small part went to the aeration tank as inoculum, and major part went to anaerobic sludge digester. And at last what happened? From that major part, biogas production has been done. And then let us see in this slide, what happens to the treated effluent? So once secondary treatment is completed and the BOD has been sufficiently reduced, the treated effluent can be released into natural water bodies. Yeah, what water bodies we know about rivers or streams. Yeah, so but remember, see, it is the treated effluent, children, not the untreated sewage that is released. Can we release the untreated sewage directly into the river? No, right? See, treated effluent after the proper treatment can be released into the river or any water bodies. And why are microbes very important here? Yeah. See, now we are going to connect this with our topic, that is our chapter title. So, microbes in human welfare. So, microbes are not always harmful. So, microbes help us to treat the wastewater and also decompose the organic matter, and they reduce the BOD and also process sewage and produce biogas. So here in this chapter, the microbial sewage treatment has been practiced for more than a century and also used widely around the world. So always remember, children, the same microbes that we often think as a harmful can also become our environmental cleaners. Okay, and then let us see some problems, yeah, occurring with the urbanization. Yeah, so what happens when a city becomes bigger? Just think and see. More people will be there. Yeah, because of more people, what will happen? Construction of houses will happen, and also more water consumption will occur. And because of more water consumption, what will happen? More wastewater will be released and more sewage will occur. And with increasing urbanization, sewage production has increased greatly throughout these years, but the number of sewage treatment plants, yeah, it has not increased sufficiently. So this untreated sewage, what happens? May sometimes they enter the river. When they enter the river, what will happen? They cause water pollution and also they increase in waterborne diseases. Okay, here is a Ganga and Yamuna action plans. So to tackle the river pollution, the Ministry of Environment and Forest, yeah, they initiated Ganga action plan and Yamuna action plan. So what is the main idea of this plan? To build more sewage treatment plants so that the treated sewage is rather than the untreated sewage is discharged into rivers. And why are the sewage treatment plants important for rivers? Can you tell me? See, because they treat sewage and reduce its polluting nature effect, and that is before the disposal. Okay. So we have come to the conclusion part. Let us have a quick revision, children. So sewage means is a municipal wastewater containing organic matter and microbes. Yeah, primary treatment we have, first one is the physical removal. So in the physical removal, again we have the filtration and the sedimentation. And in the secondary treatment is a biological treatment. Yeah, we saw so many process here, right? So aeration was there, aerobic microbes we saw, Flocs we saw, and also organic matter was consumed and BOD is decreased. And what happens in the activated sludge? Settled bacterial Flocs, yeah, and then small part it returned to the aeration tank synaculum, and the major part sent to the anaerobic sludge digester. And then biogas is nothing but methane, H2S and CO2. So the treated effluent at last, yeah, is released into the natural water bodies. So we have come to the conclusion part. Yes, go through the whole video. Don't skip the video, children. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section. Yes. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you.